Alrighty, folks, welcome to the Gifted Fitness Accelerator, or as it will be known moving forward, the GFA basic walkthrough or preview of what we got going on here for you. So if you already have pre-registered for the GFA program, thank you. Welcome. It's good to have you. This is going to be the classroom that you are dropped into on May 31st when we officially launch this program. Before that date actually arrives, what you're going to have delivered to you via email is going to be our KPI kind of skill assessment template to get a baseline of where you're at, and then to set you down a specialization track, more on specialization tracks later, moving forward. So essentially this is how it works. You pre-register a week out from the classroom opening, so that'd be May 24th. You will get this assessment sheet sent to you. You will perform the exercises, the movements, the conditioning pieces that are inside. You'll then have the opportunity to schedule a free 15-minute consultation call with one of our coaches, either Thomas or Annie. And they'll go through your results, set you down your specialization track, all of that stuff that follows. So let's actually take a look at that template first, because that's probably the most interesting, juicy piece that we need to talk about here. Sheet 1 has a basic introduction. Why do we actually assess? What are we assessing? Some basic looks at our methodology in the needs analysis process of making you the best competitive fitness athlete possible. What do you need to do on this sheet? Read through this tab right here, or read through this block right here, and then select your sex, male or female. Once you've done that, you can proceed into the testing week. Testing week, that is. So you'll see different days here. Day 1, day 2, you scroll down, you see 3, 4, 5, and so on. Each day has its own exercises. Do not do them all in a single day. You will not have a good time, and you will not get good results. So do them in the order that they are written, do them on the day that they are written, do the program as it's written to get the best possible results. Okay, so let's just look at day 1 here. So we got a clean and jerk. It'll give you some instructions. Inside of the classroom, you'll actually see some warm-ups, some mobilization exercises that we recommend, and Tom and Annie will also provide you with something very similar that may be more specific to you. So kind of dealer's choice on how you warm up and mobilize there. So as you go through this, you just want to input your results. I'm going to input just some basic numbers so that we have something to go off of when all of these results are populated. Clean and jerk, 315. Squat, Dad, you're so strong. Thank you. I appreciate that. Back squat, we'll go 440, 200 kilos. Muscle ups, 12. Unbroken, make sure you're reading these instructions. So I got 12 unbroken muscle ups, and then after that, you repeat 50% every 2 minutes. So we got 6 sets there, we'll say. Row, 2,000 meter row, time trial. So warm up, easy pace, preset 2,000 meter workout on the Concept 2 rower, and then input your time in the correct format. So it's minutes, seconds. So if you got 7 minutes and 15 seconds, you would put 07:15. So make sure you're inputting the data in the correct format, or things will get a little wonky. All right, so there's day 1. We move along. Push press in day 2. Say we push press 275. We got our strict handstand push-up battery. Did 10 of those, and then same thing. Rest 10 minutes. 50% of part 1's reps every 2 minutes until you can no longer keep up with that or continue to go unbroken. Say I did that for 5 sets total. 12-minute Cooper test, so our 12-minute run, a little bit of warm-up built in there for you with some dynamic stretching, some pacing stuff, some tempo running to get all warmed up, and then you have 12 minutes to run max distance. Record meters, so we need this written as meters. Let's say I really shat the bed on this one, only got 1 mile, 1,600 meters. So again, don't write like 1,600 M here. It's already factored in that it's in meters, so just write 1,600. Day 3, we're moving along here. So front squat, we'll say a front squat at 405. A chest to bar pull-up battery, max reps. Again, if you don't have chest to bar pull-ups yet, just put 0. Seriously, just put 0. We're going to have built-in progressions, built-in skill work within the GFA that will help you get that first chest to bar pull-up. So if it's 0, there's no shame in that game. Just put 0. Let's say I got 18. And then again, repeat 50% of that every 2 minutes until you can no longer keep up. Let's say I'm a chest to bar monster. I was able to do that for 9 rounds. I was able to keep that up. Then we've got our first benchmark workout here. Who doesn't love good old Cindy? So when you are reporting your score on Cindy, obviously read the instructions first. 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 air squats. If you're, a seasoned CrossFit veteran, you've done Cindy plenty of times, so you know the procedure there. But if you haven't done it before, make sure that you are reading the guidelines here. Make sure that you're reading the rep scoring. Full extension on the push-ups. Knees need to be locked out in the squats. Pull-up chin needs to be over the bar. Make sure you're following those guidelines to get the most accurate score possible. Remember, it's not about where you start with this program. We just want to get an accurate baseline of where you are today and then take it from there. Let's say on Cindy, I got a nice 490 reps. That's total reps across all movements. So your rounds that you got, multiply that by the total reps per round, which is 30, and then any leftover reps that you got as well. Day 4, 1RM snatch. I just maxed out my snatch. I got 264. Go squat, Dad. You the best. Thanks. I appreciate it. I appreciate that a lot. Ring muscle ups. Ooh. Good old ring muscle ups. All right, so on your ring muscle ups, again, same thing, max reps, rest 10 minutes, 50% of that, as many rounds as you possibly can. Let's say I got 2, and then I did 10 rounds. Same thing on toe to bar. How many toe to bar can you do on max? Rest 10 minutes. Let's say I got 40. And then again, 50% of that for every 2 minutes, as long as you can. Say I held that pace for 6 rounds. And then our last day, day 5 here, is going to be the 1RM deadlift, handstand walk distance, and 5,000 meter row. So your max deadlift in pounds, handstand walk distance in meters. So make sure you mark that off. And this is unbroken handstand walk. So no stopping, kicking back up, anything like that. Make sure if you're a really good handstand walker, make sure you've got a very long stretch that you can handstand walk over. Where'd you start? Mark where you finished, and then measure that out. For me, let's say it's 10 meters. Last but not least, a little bit longer of an aerobic piece here, 5,000 meter row. So again, warm up is built in there for you. Tom was nice enough to include all that. Rest 4 minutes, select that 5,000 meter on the Concept 2. If you don't have a Concept 2, you might get some weird data here. But if you're, you train at a Crunch Fitness or something that's got some other kind of rower, I would drop that as a question in the GFA group to see what the coaches think and any modifications that need to be made. Because ideally, we're doing this on the Concept 2 rower. Record your time. Again, just like the 2K row, you want that written as minutes, seconds. So let's say you finished 20 minutes on the dot. All right, there it is. Your week 1, your assessment week is done. Completely done there. Congratulations, you made it through probably what was a very hard week of training for you. Testing is certainly not easy. So what I recommend doing is when you're done with this, make sure you look back at your training logs and make sure all of these numbers are what you actually hit in training, so you don't get any weird data or weird training programs written out from this, from numbers that you didn't actually hit. So for example, if you did 2 ring muscle ups and you accidentally put 20, that's going to greatly skew the results from your testing. So make sure all of these numbers match up to what you actually hit in training. So from here, what I want you to do is, again, obviously review all of this, make sure it looks good, and then come on down here to the results tab. Inside of the results tab, we can see where you actually are. So figure A, or chart 1, is going to be a strength versus skill versus capacity chart. So how strong are you in comparison to your skill on gymnastics movements and your capacity and things like that 2K, 5K row and the Cooper test. So you can see with my results, I am a hashtag strong boy. All the way up there on strength, capacity, not so much, gymnastics, not so much. And that's completely fine because my specific training program will address those weaknesses. So it's not good, It's not bad. It's a baseline. It's a starting point. As we scroll down to the different figures, again, Tom has done a really, really good job here outlining specific points on each figure so that you can actually interpret your results to the best possible. If you have questions about these results, obviously during that 15-minute call, talk with Tom, talk with Annie, or post your questions in the GFA group, and you'll get plenty of feedback from all of our coaches over there. We move our way down. Chart number 2, figure B, is your strength balance. How balanced are you in terms of your strength in the 1RM clean and jerk, snatch, push press, deadlift, back squat, and front squat? So how well do these 6 numbers match up with each other? So you can see which direction each of these is skewed in. So it looks like my 1RM front squat is extremely impressive or extremely good compared to my other lifts. Again, you can see all of those numbers broken down in the standards that Tom is using over here in this explanation. Gymnastics skill, figure C. So how good are your raw abilities in gymnastics? When you are well rested, 100% rested, and you can just hit a max unbroken set, where do your gymnastics skills stack up? So bar muscle up, ring muscle up, handstand walk distance, strict handstand push-up, toe to bar, and chest to bar. All the stuff that you just tested, the data that we're using here is the max unbroken sets. Again, more explanation over here from Tom. Skill endurance. So how well are you able to sustain those skills, your muscle ups, your handstand push-ups, your toe to bar, over sets inside of something that resembles a workout? So in a fatigued state, how well can you maintain your toe to bar performance? How well can you maintain your muscle up performance? And then we've got our aerobic versus anaerobic fitness dominance chart down here. So last visualization for you guys here, again explained by Tom over here. I won't waste too much of your time on this one. So last thing we want to look at on this sheet here is our standards. That's a little small. Let's zoom that sucker in a little bit. Let's go, what do we want to go, 175? Feeling it. Oh, 1,275. All right, 175. That's a little easier to read. Now we can just see, based on some stats from various CrossFit data collection sources, we'll call them that, how well do your numbers stack up? Where are you, your assessed values, in comparison to the most elite lifters in the world? So class 1 RX versus class 2 RX, 3 RX, RX elite. So this would be like, I'm ready for the open and I'm going to do pretty darn well in the open. This is like, I'm probably going to make it to quarterfinals and do pretty well in quarterfinals. These are numbers that you want to see if we're heading towards like semifinals. And then the RX elite numbers are like, I'm going to do really well in semifinals and I've got a chance to possibly, make it to the games. So when you do look at these numbers, understand that even something like class 1 RX is going to put you in a position where if you drop into a random CrossFit class with casual CrossFit, we don't even call them competitors, participants in the sport, you will really, really excel compared to them. So we're using some elite values here on the RX side. So if your numbers really don't stack up super well against these, that's completely fine. These are just numbers that we are shooting for as you proceed through the GFA program. All right, that does us on our assessment sheet. Again, questions, comments, concerns, speak with your coaches or just drop those comments in the classroom. The classroom, you keep talking about the classroom. What is that all about? Here it is. All right, so here is what you will see on day 1. May 31st, when we open up the floodgates, this is what you will see. So here's our Gifted Competitive Fitness Programming, Gifted Fitness Accelerator classroom. On the stream, you're basically going to see something very similar to like your Facebook news feed, where it's a stream of posts, comments, videos, questions from the coaches, from you, and other members of the program. What can you post in there? As long as you're not hurting anyone's feelings, you can post anything you want. Dog pictures? Absolutely. Really what you're going to want to pay attention to is this classwork section here. So this classwork section is going to be where the programming is delivered weekly by our coaches. So our core programming, so we got our core programming discussion, week of May, whatever it is. Technique review. So each week you'll see a new spot here for you to drop your videos for technique review. Not sure that your back squat is to depth, not sure why you're missing snatches, don't understand why you struggle so much with thrusters, put all your videos here for review from the coaches. And then the next 3 topics here are the specialization tracks. So these are the tracks that you'll be sent down based on your meeting with the coaches, whether it be Tom, whether it be Annie. These are the tracks that they're going to send you down here. And there's going to be special notes inside of those tracks about the additional programming, that accessory work that you have weekly. So it looks like, Gun Show dropped, some rowing tips for Wednesday's capacity session. Looks like GP Jimmy has some comments about the chest to bar battery, interpreting your results there. And then Tom wrote a little piece about squats, pulls versus snatches and cleans. So why there might be a big difference between your numbers there. So you can expect to see educational content as well as your accessory programming written there. So meat of your programming is up here in the RX and scaled version. Drop your videos here. Specialization track based on your meeting. That's pretty much it on the classroom side of things. This is where you'll get your programming, your specialization, ask your questions, get your educational content. This will be kind of like our central meeting hub right here. Last but not least, we've got our proposed annual template. Just a look at the template here that Tom has written out for all of the athletes, all of our folks in the GFA. So what are we working on each week? We're all leading up to that one big competitive event each year, which is the CrossFit Open. So to be as prepared as possible for those 3 weeks in March, all of this training leads up to that. So everything here is structured. It's integrated. There's flexibility within the group via the specialization tracks, but overall we're all heading towards the same thing at the same pace. So we follow a very similar yearly periodized program. Guys, that wraps us up here on our GFA walkthrough. If you have any questions, always reach out. Instagram at Gifted Performance, at @the_squatfather if you want to ask questions specifically to me. Via email, you can find me rzeisloft@giftedperformance.com or just the simple giftedperformance@gmail.com. We're really looking forward to getting this program out there, getting it into your hands so you can digest, absorb, and really enjoy it. There will be a lot more videos like this to come, walking through, little teasers, little previews of what you can expect. So I will see you on that next one. In the meantime, stay gifted and stay fitness accelerated. See ya.